Some cars will smile at you from the showroom floor, take every rupee you have, and still leave you stranded on the side of the road 6 months later. I've seen it happen more times than I can count. A guy walks in, proud, keys in hand, brand new purchase in mind. And 8 months later, he's back in my shop, head down, wallet empty, asking me why nobody warned him. I'm warning you right now. I've spent 15 years as a mechanic. I've worked on everything from budget hatchbacks to luxury sedans. And in that time, I've watched the same cars cycle through my workshop over and over again, not because their owners love them, but because they simply won't stop breaking down. These aren't rare cases, these are patterns. Cold, expensive, predictable patterns that dealers hope you never figure out. Today, I'm giving you the list that the industry doesn't want you to see. 7 cars that mechanics privately call money pits. Cars that look great on paper, feel great on a test drive, and then systematically drain your bank account for years. And the number 1 car on this list? It's a brand you almost certainly trust right now. Stay until the end, because that reveal alone could save you hundreds of thousands of rupees. Let's get into it. Here's the mistake almost every car buyer makes, and it's not about budget, it's not about research, it's about trust. People walk into a showroom and they see a familiar logo, a polished finish, and a salesman with a confident smile. And right there, their brain switches off. They think, this brand is everywhere. Everyone buys it. It must be reliable. That's exactly what dealers count on. What they never tell you is that popularity and reliability are two completely different things. Some of the most purchased cars in this market are also the most frequently seen on my workshop lift. High sales numbers don't mean low repair bills. They often mean the opposite, because manufacturers know that brand loyalty will keep buyers coming back, no matter how many times the car lets them down. I've watched people spend more on repairs in 2 years than the car's actual resale value. I've seen families take out loans just to fix a car they already took a loan to buy. And in almost every case, the warning signs were there. They just didn't know where to look. That changes today. Now, before we get into the list, I need to say this clearly. Some of these cars are going to surprise you. A few of them you'd expect. But at least 2 on this list are brands that have a rock-solid reputation on the surface and a very different story underneath. Number 7 seems harmless. Number 4 is where most mechanics start shaking their heads. And number 1, I've had arguments with colleagues over this one because it's a brand so many people swear by that saying it out loud almost feels wrong. But the numbers don't lie. The repair records don't lie, and 15 years of seeing the same cars break in the same ways doesn't lie. If you're planning to buy a car in the next 6 months, or if someone you care about is, do not skip ahead. Every single entry on this list matters, because missing even one could cost you more than you're willing to imagine. Let's start the countdown. Number 7, the Chevrolet Trax. And I want you to pay close attention here, because this car fools more people than almost anything else on this list. It looks solid, it feels solid on a test drive, the interior is clean, the engine sounds smooth, and the price point makes it feel like a genuinely smart buy. Dealers love pushing this one because the profit margin is high and the buyer walks away feeling confident. 6 months later, that confidence is gone. I had a customer, a school teacher, saved for 3 years to buy this car, came in 8 months after purchase with a transmission shutter that should not exist on a car that young. We dug into it and found that the transmission oil had never been properly filled at the factory level, a known issue with this model that the manufacturer quietly acknowledged but never publicly recalled. The repair cost her 85,000 rupees. The dealer told her it wasn't covered. This car has a pattern of electrical gremlins that appear between 15,000 and 30,000 kilometers, warning lights that flash without reason, sensors that fail repeatedly, and an AC compressor that mechanics across the country have flagged as chronically weak. Parts availability is inconsistent, and because it's positioned as a premium budget option, owners expect reliability they simply never receive. If someone is offering you this car at a price that feels too good, trust that feeling. There is always a reason. Number 6. The Kia Picanto. And this is where things get genuinely frustrating, because this car is everywhere, and I mean everywhere. Every street, every parking lot, every used car listing. And that visibility is precisely why so many people assume it must be reliable. If this many people are buying it, it can't be that bad, they think. It can. It is. The sheer volume of this car on the road means I see it in my workshop constantly, not once or twice a year, but weekly. The engine in its most popular variant has a well-documented overheating issue that begins showing up around 40,000 kilometers. The coolant system is poorly designed for our local climate, and the fix is never a one-time job. It comes back again and again. What makes this worse is the parts pricing. Because this car sells in such high numbers, manufacturers and local suppliers have both figured out that owners are somewhat trapped. Genuine parts are expensive, aftermarket parts are inconsistent in quality, and the labor time required for even basic repairs on this model is higher than comparable cars in the same segment. I've seen owners spend 40,000 to 60,000 rupees per year, every year, just keeping this car on the road. That's not maintenance, that's a slow financial bleed that most people normalize because everyone else with this car is dealing with the same thing. That normalization is exactly what keeps this car selling. Don't fall for it. And don't go anywhere, because number 5 involves a name that carries a very different kind of prestige and a very similar kind of pain. Number 5, the Volkswagen Polo. European badge, premium feel, and a repair bill that will make you question every decision you've ever made. I want to be fair here. These cars are genuinely well engineered. The driving experience is real. The build quality, when it's new, is legitimate. But there is a fundamental problem that nobody mentions when you're sitting in that showroom, running your hand across the leather dashboard, feeling like you've arrived. The problem is what happens after 50,000 kilometers in our conditions, with our fuel quality, with our roads, and with our local parts availability. I had a customer bring in a Volkswagen Polo, about 3 years old. The car needed a specific sensor replaced, one sensor. We sourced the part, imported, 45-day lead time, 28,000 rupees for a component the size of your thumb. The labor to access it, because of how this engine is packaged, added another 15,000 for one sensor. That is the reality of European ownership in this market. It's not one big catastrophic failure. It's 100 small ones, each individually expensive, each requiring either a long wait or a compromise on part quality. And once you start compromising on parts, the problems compound faster than you'd believe. If you're drawn to the European badge, I understand completely, but go in with your eyes open and your savings account full. Because number 4 on this list is a different kind of problem entirely, and this one mechanics talk about in hushed voices. Number 4, the Suzuki Ciaz. This is the one that makes mechanics genuinely angry, not frustrated, angry, because this car is sold with a level of confidence and marketing muscle that bears almost no relationship to what we actually see on the lift. The engine in this car's most popular configuration has a timing chain issue that the manufacturer has known about for years. Not a timing belt, a timing chain, which is supposed to last the life of the engine. In this model, we're seeing failures between 60,000 and 90,000 kilometers. A timing chain replacement on this engine is not a simple job. We're talking about 8 to 12 hours of labor, plus parts, plus the very real risk of additional damage if the chain jumped before the owner noticed the warning signs. And here's the worst part. The warning signs are subtle. A slight rattle on cold start, a marginal drop in performance, easy to ignore, easy to dismiss as normal engine noise. By the time most owners bring it in, the damage is already done. I've had customers walk out of my workshop with bills between 1.8 lakh and 2.4 lakh rupees for this single repair on a car they paid 6 or 7 lakh for. That's not a money pit, that's a financial trap with a steering wheel. Do not buy this car used without a full inspection from a mechanic you trust, and if someone tells you the rattle is normal, walk away. Number 3 is going to challenge something you probably believe very strongly right now. Number 3, the Honda City. This is the one that starts arguments, because when I bring this up with customers, the response is almost always the same. But Honda is supposed to be reliable. Everyone says so. I know. That reputation is real for certain models in certain markets under certain conditions. But the specific variant that floods our used car market has a problem that reputation alone cannot fix. The automatic transmission in this model's most widely available used configuration is, frankly, not built for the way we drive. Stop-and-go city traffic, extreme heat, and the kind of load variations that come with our road conditions combine to create a transmission that wears out far faster than the brand's overall reputation would suggest. We're seeing significant transmission wear, slipping, delayed engagement, overheating, between 70,000 and 100,000 kilometers. A transmission rebuild or replacement on this car sits between 1.5 lakh and 2.2 lakh rupees, depending on the extent of damage. And because Honda's reputation keeps resale values artificially high, buyers are paying near premium prices for a used car with a ticking clock inside it. Honda isn't lying to you, but the specific model, the specific variant in our specific market, the numbers tell a different story than the badge suggests. Take a breath, because number 2 is where it gets personal, and number 1 is going to make you want to share this video with everyone you know. Number 2, the Toyota Corolla. And I want you to think about that for a second. Why would a dealer push a particular car harder than anything else on the floor? Is it because it's the best option for you? Or is it because the margin on that car is higher, the financing is more profitable, and the likelihood of repeat service visits means money keeps flowing back to the dealership long after the sale? I'll let you answer that yourself. This car has a suspension setup that is genuinely not suited to our road conditions. It rides well on smooth tarmac, impressively well actually, which is partly why the test drive always feels convincing. But put it on the kind of roads that most of us drive every single day, and those suspension components begin wearing at an accelerated rate. Shock absorbers, control arm bushings, and ball joints on this car are coming in for replacement at 40,000 to 55,000 kilometers, intervals that should be double that minimum. And because the suspension geometry is slightly unconventional, standard aftermarket parts don't always fit correctly. You're often pushed toward genuine parts, which carry a significant price premium. Beyond suspension, this car's infotainment and electrical system has a failure rate that our entire workshop team has noticed independently. Screen freezes, connectivity failures, and sensor malfunctions that require full system resets and occasionally full unit replacements at 60,000 to 80,000 rupees apiece. The dealer knows this, the service department knows this, but the sales floor? They'll tell you it's the smoothest, most reliable car in its segment. And they're not entirely wrong. It's just that those claims come with a cost that doesn't appear on the window sticker. Now, number 1, the Suzuki Alto. I want to be honest with you. This one took me a long time to say publicly because the brand has spent decades building a reputation that is, in many ways, genuinely deserved. But in our market with this specific model, the data is impossible to ignore. This car's engine, The one that comes in the variant most commonly bought and sold in our used market has a known issue with piston ring wear that leads to excessive oil consumption. Not a leak, consumption. The engine burns oil internally, and it does so quietly, without dramatic warning signs, until the damage is severe enough to cause real problems. Owners come in thinking their car is fine. Oil light hasn't come on, performance feels normal, and then we check the oil level and find it critically low. Not because of a leak we can fix, but because this engine has been drinking it for months. The fix, depending on how far the wear has progressed, ranges from top-end engine work at around 1.2 lakh rupees, all the way to a partial or full engine rebuild at 2.5 lakh and beyond. I've seen this happen on cars with under 80,000 kilometers. I've seen it happen to people who serviced their cars religiously and did everything right. The issue isn't negligence. It's a design compromise that made it through quality control and into our market in significant numbers. Check your oil every 2 weeks if you own this car, and if you're considering buying it, have a compression test done before you hand over a single rupee. So there it is, 7 cars, 7 patterns, 15 years of evidence sitting in my workshop records. Let me bring it together quickly. Number 7, the Chevrolet Trax hides its electrical and transmission problems behind a convincing test drive. Number 6, the Kia Picanto normalizes expensive repairs through sheer volume. Number 5, the Volkswagen Polo looks premium until the import parts bill arrives. Number 4, the Suzuki Ciaz carries a timing chain that is a financial disaster waiting to happen. Number 3, the Honda City's transmission is mismatched to our driving conditions, despite the brand's global reputation. Number 2, the Toyota Corolla is pushed hard by dealers for reasons that benefit them far more than you. And number 1, the Suzuki Alto, a genuinely popular car in our market, has an oil consumption problem that destroys engines quietly and expensively. This isn't about scaring you away from buying a car. It's about making sure that when you do buy, you do it with real information instead of showroom polish and sales pressure. The right car, properly inspected, properly understood, that's a purchase you'll never regret. Drop a comment below and tell me which of these 7 surprised you the most. And if someone you know is about to make a purchase, send this to them right now. It might be the most valuable thing you do for them this year. And if you want to know which cars mechanics actually recommend to their own families, the ones that just refuse to break down no matter what, that video is coming next. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it.